This is Bad Guru transmitting to any and all survivors. The zombie apocalypse remains ongoing. The mindless continue to multiply. Any contact with the mindless may result in infection. Excessive zoning will leave you vulnerable to infection. Subscribe to this transmission for regular updates. The future of humankind depends on you. Pay attention and stay living. Alright, I think we can all see that was pretty choppy. Well, that's fine. Just cut the opening. Let's get right to it. Everybody out there in Zonerland, how you doing? How you doing? This is your friendly neighborhood Bad Guru, coming to you live with all technical difficulties, but that's perfectly fine. We're learning how things go here. We're learning how to get through this. How you doing? Look, I don't know what you're doing out there in Z-Land, in Zonerland. I don't know what you're up to, but I hope you're paying attention, because it's very important that you stay living. What do I want to talk to you today about? What can I talk to you today about? That's what I'm asking myself. That's what I ask myself every single day on a regular basis. What do I have to communicate to the world? You know, with the work that I do, I get asked this question on a regular basis. This is the question I get asked the most. Even if I'm not asked this question, I just know this is the question that people are asking of me. The question is, how? How? How do I change my life? How do I feel better? How do I get control of my thoughts? How do I become more self-aware? How do I avoid being a zombie? How do I avoid being a zoner? I don't want to be among the mindless, Bad Guru. Good. That's a very good place to start. And the answer to how is important. It's simple. It may not be easy, but it is simple. The answer to how is habit. Habit is the key to creation. Look, when you think about it, it's action over time that creates change, right? How did you get to wherever you are now? How did you get to who you are today? How did you get to your current life situation, your current life circumstances? It's actions that you took. Well, the actions that you took, they occurred because of programming. They occurred because of ritual. They occurred because you learned to do those actions. You observed someone else. You allowed yourself to do it, and it became a part of who you are. It became a part of who you are because of the process of habit, because of the power of habit. Habit reinforces behavior. And who you are today is the amalgamation, it's the accumulation of all the habits that you've picked up. That's who you are. You might not really think of it as a habit. You might not see it as that way, but if you're a student, if you say you're a student, I'm a student, well, what does that mean? That means you have the habit of waking up in the morning, going to class, learning things, coming back home, right? A student is someone who frequents the schools. A student is someone who engages in this type of behavior on a regular basis. If you go to your class and you go to school just one day, I guess technically you're a student, but you're not really a student, right? You're somebody who went to school one day. But if you go day after day or over and over as the years go on, if you go regularly, routinely, if you make it a habit, then we say you're a student. The word student means I'm habitually this type of person. I habitually behave in this way. I'm a smoker. That's a habit. I don't have to explain that one. It's pretty obvious. I'm a drinker. I'm a habit. I'm an anxious person. That's a habit that you have. It's a habit of behavior. Now, some of the habits are imposed on us. Some of the habits are biological. Some of the habits you don't even realize you have as habits. But habit is what you need to change if you want to change anything in your life. Now, you might not be wanting to change something good. Maybe it's not something good you're looking to... You might not be looking to change something bad. It might not be some bad thing that you're changing up. I have a friend, she told me, she gets into a mood and she just rearranges the furniture in her house. She just rearranges the furniture. Because when the furniture is there habitually, it becomes a habit, it becomes a way of life. And when you change up that habit, then change occurs. Your whole experience in your home becomes different. That's what happens when you break habits, when you change the patterns in which your life flows. So you want to change anything in your life, you want anything to improve, you have to figure out what habits do I have that need to change? What habits do I have that I just got to get rid of? What habits do I have to add to my life? So I like to tell people, I tell my clients all the time, if you want anything to change in your life, you have to either add a habit to your life, remove a habit, or modify a habit that you have. Right? That makes sense. Habit is the key to creation. Let me make sure nobody else is trying to get a hold of me here. Make sure I'm broadcasting. All right. If there's any technical difficulties out there in the world, please let me know. If you can hear me clearly, let me know that too. I see your chat messages here when they come in. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. All right. I'm told that everything is fine. How? You're out there thinking, how in the world am I going to make my life better? And you don't have to have a crap life in order to want to make your life better. You don't have to have something bad going on in your life before you have to engage in the power of habit. You can just ask yourself. You can just ask yourself, what habit could I add, remove, or modify that would make my life better? And there's an answer to that. I don't know what the answer is for you. I don't know what your life circumstances are like. I don't know what situation you're in, but there's definitely an answer to that. There are habits that are better for you to have. Maybe you have a habit where you talk to a friend, right? Your habit is, I talk to this friend, but this friend is a downer. This friend is a bummer. This friend doesn't uplift me. This friend doesn't add anything, but I don't know. We've been friends for years. We've been friends since childhood. But is that a habit you should continue? Look, if you try to make things better, you open lines of communication, you let people know where you're coming from, fine. But let's say look, this relationship, this friendship that I have doesn't work for me. And yes, I can spend energy and time and effort in trying to make it good, but I've already done that and I don't believe it's going to work. Why do you keep picking up the phone? Why do you keep sending those messages? You don't have to. Sometimes it's difficult to break a habit. I know that. There's all kinds of reasons we hold on to habit. It feels good. It gives me the drug I need. It satisfies me. It's good. It's just who I am. I'm a functional. I have a habit of going to sleep at terrible times and not sleeping for a long time. So I'll say, I'm a functional non-sleeper. I can live my life not sleeping and I'm fine. I'm functional. Until I'm not. Habit is the key to creation. And you'll hear me say that over and over because I make it a habitual part of my day, a habitual part of my thinking. Habit. There's this habit that I have on my device. And that's Actually, it's not a habit that I have. It's a habit that I avoid. I don't know if you're engaged in this, but you should know. You should know. There's something you should know. And that is the power. Not the power. It's not the power. You should know about the insidiousness of the infinite scroll. The addictive nature of the infinite scroll. Right? You're scrolling on your phone and it doesn't stop, does it? It used to be when you scrolled, you got to the end of a page and then you had to click through to the other page. You had to click through to the other page. Well, the geniuses at these companies, they realized, look, if we just remove that barrier, if we just stop people from having a natural stopping point, just an infinite scroll, then we can keep them on here for longer. We can get them addicted. And you get a little bit of dopamine every time you see that cool thing posted, every time you read that message, every time you get that feeling of, ooh, I want to continue. What else could I find? What else could I see? What else are people sharing? Ooh. It's addictive. And I don't know if you've ever had this experience where you're just planning on being on Facebook, you're just planning on being on Twitter, you're just planning on being on Instagram for just a few minutes, and an hour later you're still on Instagram, you're still on Twitter, you're still on Facebook. That's because of the infinite scroll. The infinite scroll keeps you there. So I know I've got an addictive personality. I know I got trouble with these things. And so I almost never go scrolling on my social media platforms. I'm curious. I'm very curious as to what people are doing. Just moving the mic away from my computer so you don't hear the fan. I'm very curious as to what people are doing. You should not think that I'm not curious. I'm very curious. I want to know what's going on. I want to know everything about what everybody's doing, what everybody's posting online. I'm immensely curious about that. I love social networks. I love the power of networks. We'll talk about that later. But I don't want to get lost in the infinite scroll. I experienced that on Reddit. If you don't know about Reddit, reddit.com. Reddit is the front page of the internet, so-called. You find everything on there. It's absolutely fascinating, and you can find things on Reddit that are just, there's no reason to leave it, except for food and sleep, maybe taking care of your children. There's no reason to leave it. But I almost never go scrolling because I know it won't be 5 minutes. It won't be 10 minutes. It'll be way too long. That's a habit that you might have. Scrolling. When I go to Facebook, it's for a reason. It's to post something. It's to read a message that's there. It's to look at someone's specific profile page because something they recently posted. I'm looking, if I want to look up a friend, I want to see what's up with them. I go and look at the first 3 things and then I let it go. Right? And if I do want to go on something and I do start scrolling and I still get caught in that infinite scroll, I have a technique. I have a technique to get me out of it. I count to 10. No, I'm not talking about that anger management thing where you just count to 10 and then you calm down. That's not what I'm talking about. What I do is that I scroll and I count 10 items. And if I don't find anything that is of real value to me, real interest to me in those 10 items, I close the app. I'm done scrolling. If I do find something interesting, then the counter starts again. The countdown starts again. I count another 10. So I scroll. 10, 9, 8, 7, not good. 6, 5, not good. 3, 2. Oh, that's interesting. Read that article. Look at that post. I saw something interesting. All right. Here we go. Another 10. 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, that's actually interesting. That's genuinely interesting. Let me check that out. Oh, that's fun. That's cool. That's weird. All right. Here we go. Another 10. And then I'm surprised when I get to 10 and I realize, well, I just scrolled a bunch and there was nothing interesting. And I know this 10 because I've done 10 and then 20 and then 30 and then 40 and 50. I've scrolled through 50 things and not seen anything that was actually of genuine interest to me. And I realized, whoa, I wasted time. Why did I waste all that time? I went through 50 items. I didn't add much to my day. I didn't have to do that. I count to 10 and wherever I'm at the 10. So if I don't find anything, I just let it go. I know if I keep scrolling, I'll find something. I know if I keep scrolling on Reddit, I will find something interesting. If I keep scrolling on Facebook, I will find something interesting, right? But that's not the point. The point is I don't want to get lost in the habit of infinite scroll. I don't want to get lost in that addiction because I know, intellectually, I know it's not good for me. And you might not know this, but the infinite scroll can catch you. So when you're on social media, when you're on these things, have a game plan. Don't walk into the don't walk. I used to spend time with people like this, right? They go to a bar. We'd go to a bar for a 5 set or something, right? Gonna hang out at a bar. This is what young people do, right? Go to the bar. And when I go to a bar, I know before I walk through the doors, when I used to go to bars, I knew before I walked through the doors how much I'd be drinking. I don't get it. I don't get the people. I meet people. I've talked to people. I've had experience with people. They start drinking and then they think, oh, this is fun. Drinking a little bit was a lot of fun, so let's drink a little bit more. Because drinking equals fun. And so they start drinking, and then they lose their senses, and then they drink, and they drink past where the fun is. Because they're thinking, I see them, they're drunk. They're not piss poor, they're not super drunk, but they're drunk. You know, they're, oh my God, I feel really tipsy. And you're at that sweet point where you're feeling tipsy, you're feeling uninhibited, but you're still coherent. And then you go, oh, let's have another drink. And I've been through the experience enough, and you must have been through the experience enough to know that that extra drink doesn't add anything more to your experience. It makes you more sick, it makes you tired, it makes you groggy, you're hitting the point of no return. It's not good. It doesn't actually make the night better. Not really. And even if it does make the night better, that's poison you're putting in your body. So I walk into the bar, and I know I'm going to have 2 drinks. I'm going to have 2 beers, and that's it. I'm going to have a glass of wine, 2 glasses of wine, that's it. I'm going to have a glass of whiskey, and that's it. And I sip on that, and I drink it, and I have a fun time, and I leave. And I know that when I'm drinking, when I'm in that state, that is not the time for me to be making decisions. That's not the time for me to now start a game plan or to improvise what I'm going to be doing. My life is way too valuable for that. And when I go on Facebook, I don't go there, oh, let me just walk into the bar, the Facebook bar, and let's just see what happens. No! Because then all of a sudden you end up down some rabbit holes or reading some posts that you're really is bumming you out. You're getting distracted from your mission in life, and you're not better off. When I go to Facebook, I want to leave better off. Communicate with the people I want to communicate with. Check on the people that I want to check on, and get the heck out of there. I do the same thing when I go to a casino. I'm going to go to a casino. I'm going to spend $10 on slot machines. And when that $10 is done, I am out. And I've walked into the casino and played for 10 minutes and lost my $10 in slot machines and then left. I've done that. Because if I stay at the casino, I'm going to lose more than I want. So I break the spell. So if you have a habit of going onto social media and losing your time doing that, figure out your game plan before you get on board. Figure out your game plan before you log in. Decide who you're going to be and what you want out of the experience before you walk into the situation. Don't be the type of person who jumps out of a plane without a parachute and then asks, what do I do now? Get a parachute. The power of habit. All right, Tony here. Tony Rubik says, leave better off and leave the people better off. Leave better off and leave the people better off. Yes. Get out. Tony, she gets it. Get out. Get in, get out. Figure out what it is that you're looking for and get out. Know what it is. That's why having a clear mind, being awake, being self-aware is important. Know what you want from an experience before you get into it. Look, before I pick up the phone and have a conversation with my mother or anybody, I know what I want to get out of it. I know what I want to contribute, what I want to give, and what I want to get. I know what's going on. And so I pick up the phone and I call my mother, and I know I want to make her feel good. I want to let her know what's going on. I want to find out what's happening with her. I want to make sure to ask about this, make sure her health is good, and then I'm out. It's not so dire. I don't need to run away from my mother, but I like to know what I'm going to talk about when I'm talking with her. I do that with everybody. I have a game plan for what I'm going to do. And you don't have to be anal about it. You don't have to be like every single detail planned out, but have a mission and then accomplish that mission. Because as you go on your adventure in life, as you go on your missions, you're going to find all kinds of reasons to be distracted. And then you'll be less effective. People, they ask me, how do I change things? How do I improve my life? Get familiar with the power of habit. Because who you are is the amalgamation, the consequence, the aggregate of all the habits that you have. You have them right now. You're a bundle of habits, a bundle of patterns that keep repeating. Your cells are a bundle of patterns that keep repeating. Your thoughts are a bundle of patterns that keep repeating. Everything about you is habit. Change your habit, change your life. Tony says, don't just do it, be prepared before. Good topic. Thank you, Tony. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I love social media. And I don't want to come off sounding like I don't like social media. I love social media. I love these tools. There are people who they're like, I'm off social media. I am not going to do it anymore. I get it. There's some people, I don't drink. I'm done drinking. I don't want to drink anymore. I'm not even going to have a beer. I don't want any of it. So I get it. If you're that type of person, social media, I just can't handle myself. I can't do it. I have no restraint. Get out. That's fine. Perfectly fine. I'm not that way with social media. I have control. And so I can see its power. I can see its value. Social media, social networks are so useful, and I don't know why we're not using it more effectively. My Lord! It keeps me up at night. I want to talk to you today, before I get into it. I can already feel myself losing my mind here. Before I get into it, I want to talk to you about the network effect. All right, let me read to you from Wikipedia what the network effect is. A network effect is the effect described in economics and business that an additional user of goods or services has on the value of the product to others. I read that kind of weird, didn't I? So it's the effect described in economics and business that an additional user of a good or service has on the value of that product to others. When a network effect is present, the value of a product or service increases according to the number of others using it. So an example here is, the classic example is the telephone, where a greater number of users increases the value to each. A positive externality is created when a telephone is purchased without its owner intending to create value for other users, but does so regardless. Online social networks work similarly, with sites like Twitter and Facebook increasing in value to each member as more users join. So the network effect is, just because more people have the telephone, just because there are more people that have it, the telephone becomes more valuable. Make sense? So you add value to things when a network effect is in place, when those things are connected. So the more people who go on Facebook, the more valuable and useful Facebook becomes. Same with Twitter, same with Instagram. Make sense? Why am I talking to you about the network effect? Because I love social media. I love social media. I love these devices. I love these things that we're using. And to me, they don't have to be wastes of time. They don't have to be time sinks. I mean, this is a double-edged sword that we have here. And a sword can kill you and it can protect you. Right? Fire can burn your house down or it can cook your food. Right? Double-edged swords. Technology has always been that way. But I don't feel like we're using it effectively. I don't think we're using these devices effectively. Look, I was talking to Samantha the other day. She sent me this video. I think it's from TikTok. And it was a video of... so we're on lockdown because of this whole quarantine thing and this whole COVID-19 thing. And, there's some... There's this thing where, what was it called? I forget what the hashtag was. I wish I could remember the hashtag. Why not bring it up? Right? We're living in modern times. doing a live show here. Don't bother me none. So she sent me something on TikTok. I think it was on Facebook here. Let me go check it out, because I really want you to go and check this out if you haven't seen it. Oh yes, here we go. Okay, so there was no hashtag, but at least I don't see a hashtag here. In any case, what it was women who were displaying themselves naked to their lover who was, let's say, playing video games. So the guys there playing video games, and then she's recording, and she comes out. She records that she's getting naked. You don't see her getting naked, but she like drops the towel, drops whatever, and then she walks into the bedroom or walks into the living room, and the guy's sitting there with headphones on playing video games, and all of a sudden he sees her. And then, he wants to get busy. He wants to get jiggy with it, right? And this is a fad that's going on, I guess, like women getting their boyfriends or lovers off of their video games by using, leverage. Let's call it leverage. So there's a fad that's going on. And I think it's pretty cool. I love it when fads go on. I love it when things go on and people get hold of this, and you have a bunch of people doing things, not just because there's value in doing that thing, but because everybody else is doing it. Isn't it fun to do something that other people are doing? It's fun. We're social creatures, so we like to do things together. We like to do things that other people are doing. We like to wear clothes that other people are wearing because of fashion. That's how fashion comes about. We want to wear what the Queen is wearing. We want to wear what Will Smith is wearing. We want to wear what, whoever. We want to listen to the songs that other people are listening to so that we have communion. We want to watch the TV shows that other people are watching. It's more fun when you know other people are doing it. I go to a movie when it's empty. I don't mind. I go to a movie when it's empty. But I really love going to a movie theater when it's full of people. Maybe not so much these days, but I really love going when it's full of people. I love going when the laughter or the reactions in the room are not just my own, but are shared with everyone else. It's fun. It's fun to be a part of something. So these fads it's fun to be a part of a fad. But I wish there were more things in our life that we use the network effect for that were meaningful. It's not enough to me that people are just using this for a fad. They're just going to go planking. They're just going to do the cinnamon challenge. They're just going to, I like it when we use the network effect. We use these networks in order to do something amazing. And I have this idea. I wonder why the hell aren't we making millionaires daily? Think about that. You get a network of people, let's say 1 million, 2 million people together, who are willing to give $1 or $2 to someone, right? And then we just choose who that someone is, and we make them a millionaire. It could be a business. You have a business out there. It's starting up. It's doing right by the world. They have ethical practices. They're producing quality things in a way that doesn't harm the environment, whatever it is. Some valuable business out there that we say, hey, that's good. We want more of that. And then we, as a network, we just all, at the same time, not in the same second, but at the same time, we contribute to this idea. And we make them a millionaire. Kickstarter is like this, right? Kickstarter is sort of like this. We use crowdfunding in order to fund projects. But a lot of the projects that I find on Kickstarter are not exactly world-changing. And there's nothing wrong with that. They don't have to be world-changing. But what I mean is, if we have a network of people, a network of people who had it as their mission, on a regular basis, we want to make millionaires. Sort of like a Dragon's Den for humanity, right? You come before us, you tell us your idea, your project, whatever it is, and we're going to make you a millionaire. And we're not going to make you a millionaire. We're doing it for fun. We're doing it for fun, but we're not just doing it for fun. We're doing it because we're shaping the world with the power of our attention. If a fad can go across the world and people can be doing all kinds of crazy things with their smartphones, how old am I? With their smartphones, and creating phenomenons that end up in the news that millions of people do, why can't we do the same thing, but for making businesses popular, by exploding businesses? I don't mean exploding in that way. That came out wrong. I want to create a network of people, a network of survivors, a network of the living who come together and they say, look, Here we are, 1 million, 2 million of us, 3 million, 10 million. Here we are. We're here. We're on our devices. Give us something worth giving $1 or two to. Give us something that's worthy of our attention, that's worthy of our energy, that's worthy of our money. And we're all going to, for the fun of it, and also for the value, but for the fun of it, we're all going to contribute to this thing today. And overnight, that business, that person, that hero, that entrepreneur, whatever, that kid, that mother of two, mother of six, that animal rescuer, that fireman, that whatever, just for the heck of it, we're going to make them millionaires. For the fun of it. Why not? We do it for businesses so that the businesses that get created aren't the businesses that have shady practices, aren't the businesses that are able to pay for all the advertising, but businesses that actually contribute value to the world. We can say, hey, we're not going to just sit around waiting for you to find us. We are going to make ourselves known. We are the living, damn it. And we are out here. We are going to create a new future. We're going to rebuild from this apocalypse. And we're going to do so by all of us focusing our attention onto an idea, onto a business, and we're going to make them a millionaire. Think about that. Think about that. Think about your phone buzzing and it says, hey, do you want to make this person a millionaire? And you go, yeah, I'm going to make that person a millionaire. And you know that when you do that, there's going to 1 million other people, 2 million, 10 million other people who are doing that same thing at the same time. And then boom, we make them a millionaire. How would that feel? Maybe it's just me. But you tell me, how would that make you feel to all of a sudden make a bunch of millionaires? To be part of a process where you, on a regular daily basis, can make people more powerful, the people that you choose. Not the people who are able to convince. There's so many scams out there. I come across them on a regular basis. So many scams, so many business, so many people trying to take advantage of you. And they do it by using the same mechanisms that the good people use. The good businesses and the good people, they use the same advertising channels. They use the same tools in order to advertise to get you. And they're competing with these shady other people who have obviously more money to do more shady things. And so if we're just going to shape the world, if the businesses are going to become successful just because they were able to co-opt your attention, I don't want that. I don't want to passively be involved in the creation of the world. I want to actively be involved in the creation of the world. So I say we create a network of the living, people who come together, who say, look, we're here. We're here, right here. We don't have to be physically in that place. We're right here online. Show us something worthy of our attention. And us in this Making Millionaires Club, we are going to shine the light of our attention on it, give it $1 or $2 or whatever the amount is. And we're going to make it a millionaire because it's fun. I want to live in a world where it's possible for any one of us to become a millionaire overnight, not because we played the lottery, but because other people saw what we did was worthwhile. And there was a network of people, enough people out there with eyeballs out into the world where we could find the great ideas. Look, folks, businesses right now are going down. Bankruptcies after bankruptcies after bankruptcies. There are people who poured their whole life savings into their business, and now that business is gone. There are going to be so many businesses that are gone. And you know what's going to happen? The big businesses are going to buy up those properties, they're going to buy up those companies, they're going to buy up those businesses, they're going to buy up those spaces. And then we're just going to have a consolidation of companies, and we're going to have a bigger Walmart. We're going to have a bigger, I was going to say bigger Amazon, but how could you get a bigger Amazon? Because the people with the money and the people with the influence and people with the power, they're just going to use that in order to, when everything is depressed, they're just going to come in and just take everything. But instead, if we create a network of people, we can say, look, you want to start that business out there? You lost your business, you want to start back again? You're doing something worthwhile for people. You're helping this community. Well, there's 3 million plus of us in Montreal, Canada. So we're going to get 1 million people together and we're going to start making that business. Boom, 1 million, boom, 1 million, boom, 1 million. And very quickly we can repopulate our community with businesses that help the community. Businesses that serve a meaningful function, that provide great value to our society, as opposed to having a bigger Walmart, another conglomerate. Look, there's nothing wrong with those things. But how did they get that way? And I got that way because of a habit of our attention. We gave them our money, we gave them our attention. And I get it. What choice do you have? How else our business is going to be made? That's the same process as the way it was done, and that's the way it's going to continue to be. But it didn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. We can shape the world with the power of the network effect. So I'm creating a network. It's called The Audience. The Audience is a network for the living who want to create a habit of paying attention. They want to create a habit of paying attention to great ideas. They want to use their attention to shape the world. And maybe some of us are even willing to contribute $1 or $2 or $5. So you join The Audience. Very easy. You use the same tools that you're scrolling on, that you're infinite scrolling on. You go over to facebook.com/happyforachange. That's facebook.com/happyforachange. It was easier to just say it. facebook.com/happyforachange. And there's a group right there, the Happy for Change audience. You join that group. And the more of you who join, the bigger that number gets, the more powerful we are, the more powerful you are. If you're alive out there, if you're living and you're paying attention, I encourage you to join The Audience. There's going to be something like this in the future. And this is where it starts. A network of millions of people who are not waiting to be advertised to, but are looking to shape the world with the power of their attention. Making millionaires, folks. Tell me, what idea have you heard today, or this week, or this month that's better than that one? I bet you there are, but I think that's a pretty good idea. There's zombies out there. The zombies out there, the zoners, the mindless, they don't know, don't realize, don't remember that the economy is us. That life is about the things that we do. Life is about being alive. And it's not enough to just be breathing and have your heart beating. You have to engage actively in life. That's how you stay alive. And that's how you get the most out of life. To truly live. And even in this time of crisis, even in this horrible time that we're living through, we can still do that. Don't give over to a habit of fear, a habit of doing nothing, a habit of lethargy, a habit of apathy, a habit of worry, a habit of hate and anger. Take charge of your experience and give yourself over to the habit of paying attention. What do you want to pay attention to? Pay attention to great ideas. And by golly, this is a great idea. Come. I'm building a community of survivors. Come to The Audience. Come to the Happy for Change audience. And let's see what our attention can do. I want to tell you about the Happy for Change audience right now. I want to let you know what our numbers are like. I think it's good for us to get some stats here. Let's take a look at the Living Network, the Happy for Change audience, to see where we're at today. So we've got 60 subscribers over there on YouTube. That's I like that number, 60. It's a good number. It seems low, but when you realize that it's the beginning, then you realize it's not that low. 60 subscribers. We have 156 right now in the audience. We have 156 members. 156 members. So that's pretty good too. And how many Facebook likes do we have for our Facebook page? We have a total of 328 likes. It's not bad. 328 likes. If you want to get those numbers up, if you want to make us more powerful, if you want to be a part of the Living Survivors audience, just head over to Facebook.com/Happy for Change. Make sure to like the Facebook page and join the Happy for Change audience. And over on YouTube, you can get some cool content there. We got a lot of videos and more to come. And you can go over to youtube.com/Happy for a Change and subscribe there. I really appreciate it. Help me get those numbers up. The more those numbers go up, the more powerful we are. So join the audience. Subscribe on YouTube and pay attention to me a little bit. Follow me. Let's see about the comments. We got some cool comments from Tony. We had some comments yesterday on the video that we did on the first episode of this broadcast. It was from Heather Boyd Wire, and she said, so this was our video yesterday about being creative. She asked me if I've seen the film Idiocracy. Yes, I have seen Idiocracy. It's a very funny movie, kind of depressing because wow, is the world a lot like that. More so today than ever before. Maybe I'll go and rewatch that. I think it's with Owen Wilson or Luke Wilson. I think it's Luke Wilson. Anyway, it's a very funny movie. A little bit bittersweet because it kind of is the world that we're living in. But I've seen that. Heather also says, check out this guy on YouTube for a creative way to walk. So I talked about doing everything in a creative way, and you don't even have to walk normally. When I walk outside, I avoid the cracks on the streets. I used to do that as a kid, and I do that now. It reminds me to pay attention, and it's kind of fun to do. I also avoid leaves on the ground or anything. I try to step on blank spots. And if I can, I'll walk along on railings and balance myself on the sidewalk edge, just so I'm conscious when I'm walking. But Heather says to check out Dance Walking Fitness by Ben Aaron. Dance Walking Fitness by Ben Aaron. So that's something to definitely check out. Heather says, be creative in every moment. What a wonderful mantra. Great video, Peter, and I can totally relate about the public speaking. Thank you so much, Heather. I really appreciate those comments. I live off of your comments. If you're a survivor out there, please post a comment and I'll read it here on the air. I'm going to read everything that, as long as I physically can, I'm going to read your comments and help us create a wonderful network here, a big network. The network effect, I think, is very important. All right, what do we got? What do we got left here? All right, we're coming to a close here. Thank you for watching. We're not done just yet. Just hang in there, and I'll be right back. You should know. There's something that you should know. You should definitely know. So I want to tell you on a regular basis, in these transmissions, in this broadcast, I want to give you something that you should know. It's something about the internet, something about the world that you might not know, and that I think it'd be good if you did know. Did you know about Google search modifiers? You should know about it. Google search modifiers. So some of you already know this, but if you haven't, it's gonna help you find some reason to use this. All right, you go to do a Google search, right? And you type in your search, but then sometimes you get results that pop up that really don't have as much to do with what you were looking for. Maybe your search query is tying in too closely with something else, right? So if I genuinely want to look up viruses, for example, online, I wanted to look up viruses, but I was looking on the topic of virus. I don't want to look at the coronavirus. I'm not interested in the coronavirus. Okay, well, how do you Google search about viruses and not get information about coronavirus? Well, you can type in your search query, and then you do a space, and you can use a modifier. So the 3 modifiers I'm going to tell you about today, there are more, but I'm going to tell you 3 today, and that's minus, plus, and quotes. All right. If you put minus and then a word, any search result that contains that word will be removed. So if you look for virus, space, minus, the dash sign, the minus symbol, dash, and then you put coronavirus, if the word coronavirus is in the search result, it will be removed. Right? That's pretty good. Sometimes you're looking up for something, you're looking at Apple or Amazon or something, and you don't want Jeff Bezos to pop up there. You don't want Tim Cook to pop up there. So you do minus Jeff Bezos, minus Tim Cook. Boom. Those search results are gone. Pretty good, right? If you don't know about this, go and try it out. You can go and look for things and put minus, and then it will subtract those things. And you can do minus a word and then space, minus another word and space. You can do as much as you want. So if you do a search and you find that you're getting too much of a result that has to do with something that you don't want, you can just do minus and then a word that figures in that result, and then it'll be taken away. You can do plus, and that will add the word to it. So you'll say, look, I really want to try to make sure that this word is included. I might be typing in a bunch of things, but I really want this word to be included in the search. You do plus and then the word. And then that word, if it's possible, will be included in the search. And you can also use quotation marks. If you do quotation marks, so sometimes you're not looking for just a word. You're looking for a string of words. You want a specific sentence. You want a specific thing. So you can put the word or the phrase in quotes, in quotation marks. And when you do that, Google will show results that have exactly that phrasing. So if I want to write, let me think of a phrase. If I want to find dance walking fitness with Ben Aaron, and when I write dance walking fitness, I get dancing, I get walking, and I get fitness, I can put dance walking in quotations, and it will give me exactly that. If I'm looking for Ben Aaron, and I type Ben Aaron, and I get a bunch of results for Ben, or a bunch of results for Aaron, but not a Ben Aaron, I can put Ben Aaron in quotation marks, and then I'll get exactly that combination of words. You got to watch out, because if you do spelling mistakes, then you'll get the spelling mistakes too. But sometimes I get an error message on my computer, and I don't know what to do. And when I look up the problem with that software, I find all kinds of other problems. I need to look up that exact phrasing of that exact error message. So I put in quotation marks, and then I can find that online if somebody else has written that, if it's posted online somewhere in exactly that way. Those are Google search modifiers. It's a way to make your search more efficient. If you're looking through the news and you're finding too much news of this or that, you're looking for something and it's too much in your way, you can just do minus and get rid of it, and you can clear and get more focused and get more and get better, more accurate search results. I think that's something you should know. All right, that's it. Something I want to know is how to do these videos without getting all choppy, but. We'll figure that out as we go. I really appreciate you watching. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I want to be a voice in the wilderness for you survivors and encourage you to become more self-aware and to adorn the habit of paying attention, because our attention does shape the world. All right. Is there anything else for me to talk about? I'm sure there are, but I think that's it for me here today. It's getting late. I'm going to go eat, and I really wish you the best. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. My name is Bad Guru. I know I'm going to press one of these buttons, and then everything's going to get all choppy, so maybe I'll just leave by doing this.